Hey everybody, we get to certain phases in life, or maybe you could call them seasons, or maybe you could call them stages. One of the stages we're coming to in California is to not have to wear masks anymore if you've been fully vaccinated. For a lot of people, maybe they've already begun to do that. For other people, maybe it's a welcome change. For some people, it's not quite time yet. But we get to these phases or changes in life where we get back to either a new normal, the old normal, or moving on to the future. Those seasons happen throughout all of life. Some people graduated high school during this pandemic. Some people graduated college or grad school during this pandemic. Some people quit or stopped or were let go of jobs while maybe they started new jobs again. Some people welcomed children, new babies, new life into their family during this time. Some people lost loved ones during this time as well. And we seem to go through phases of life and stages of life that I hope when we look back on those stages, we ask ourselves if we did well, right? Because we won't be able to do those again. Did we do well in high school, not just in our grades, but in our personality, the way we treated people, in our character, in our choices? Did we make the most of every opportunity? Did we do well in college? How did we do at that job? What was our reputation when we left or were let go? How were we in those relationships that we might not have again? And we can't take those times back. And I hope that during this time of COVID, we could also look at this season of life and ask ourselves, how did we do? What were things we wish we would have done differently? What were things that we did well? As we back here in California get ready to go back in person, this will be our last planned video for the weekend, although we'll see what happens. But even now, it's a phasing into something different, of letting go of one thing and moving on to something else. We hope these videos have been a blessing to you, but as we've looked through the book of Matthew, I hope you could see that even as Jesus came to the earth, there was also a planned or time season when he was going to leave. And as we look at the time of him leaving, he left entrusting his followers to carry on what was good, to carry on what was right. Jesus said that all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to him. So he wanted them to go and to impact the world. And that he promised as they went that he would be with them every step of the way to the very ends of the age. That if we truly commit to be with God, to live for God, to follow God, he promises to go with us. And I hope that as you look ahead to this summer, to the fall, to whatever you have in this upcoming year, we could stop and look back and say, what did I do well? So that we could keep doing it. What are things I didn't do very well? So we could either stop doing them or begin to do things we need to do. And how am I with God? How's my relationship with God? Because that is what will impact every other aspect of our lives. Whether we realize it or not, at the core of our being, at our true essence, if there is not a connection with the Creator God who created us, it will impact everything that flows from us or through us to those around us. And our hope and our prayer is that in the same way in Matthew chapter 28, Jesus got to another stage where he released his followers to go continue to do what he showed them to do, what he came to do. But now it was in their hands, and it would be passed on to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. We could also look at our lives and decide to live better, decide to live differently, decide to live more for Jesus than we did a year and a half ago. Maybe you were just cruising through life, and maybe not. Maybe life was incredibly difficult, but wherever we were, we've gone through the same thing together. Even though our experience wasn't exactly the same, it was a shared experience, which is what we see in the lives of the disciples. Their shared experience was the choice to follow Jesus through thick and thin. And when they chose to do that, their lives were radically changed, and the direction or course of their life changed as well. And what became most important is staying faithful to the one who called them. And I pray and hope that we will have the same commitment as well as the same openness. Same openness to let Jesus guide us into an unknown future, leading us down paths that might not be what we planned, but at the same time to be deeply committed to following God no matter where he would lead us. That, I think, is the secret to the best life that God wants to design and mold and shape for you and I to experience. It's been great journeying with you. We hope and pray that the words of Jesus will continue to revolutionize our hearts as we change and impact ourselves and the world around us. God bless.